What's up guys, it's Cody. So in this video, we're going to be going over 3D printing industry's annual awards. This is something that they give out to notable companies or individuals helping to progress the movement. These may be some companies that you've heard of before, like Preset, or others not so much. We're going to be quickly going through these companies to give a brief overview of some of the notable highlights of each. The first award is 3D Designer of the Year, which is Divergent 3D. What they are most known for is a hypercar that they 3D printed quite a bit of parts on. So according to information that we found online, it seems like one of the designers of the car is also a founder or co-founder of Divergent 3D, as you can see here. According to this website, it was developed using 3D printing. It was manufactured in 2021, and it seems like it's based in Los Angeles, California. Here is Divergent 3D's LinkedIn page, just to get a bit more information. Here is the namesake of the car, Kevin Zinger. He seems to be one of the founders of both the car and Divergent 3D. Here is Divergent's website. You can see a bit more about some of the projects and specialties. They have design, print, and assembly. Here's a clip from YouTube of some B-roll from the hypercar that was 3D printed. According to this video, it cost $2 million. You can see some of the car frame that was 3D printed. And it's also given an interview with Kevin Zinger. Here's a few more clips of the outside of the car. The second category that we have is the 3D scanning or metrology company, which happens to be Shannon 3D. So going to their Instagram page, we can see some of the tools and processes that they use to scan objects. If we go to their website, it says high accuracy 3D scan solutions for everyone. We can see some of the 3D scanners, software, industry solutions, and other resources that they provide. Years of experience, 2,400 plus patents, metrology services, international services, a little bit about the company and COO, some updates from the company. Doing a quick image search, we can see some of the 3D scanners that Shannon 3D creates or provides. See some for dental solutions, everyday objects, handheld scanners, professional scanners, different ones. Here's some of the latest news articles about the company. Obviously, we got the award that they won. Next, we have the academic research team or project. The winner is Singapore Center for 3D Printing. On their website, we can see some of their research and sort of what they do as far as 3D printing is related. Looking at some news articles, we can see some of the stuff they have been working on, like 3D concrete that is able to capture CO2. The next category that we have is aerospace, space, or defense application, with NASA JPL and REM Surface Engineering as the winner. So here we can see some of the work that NASA JPL or Jet Propulsion Laboratories has done. There is currently 40 active missions going on, As you can see on the countdown timer, some of the latest news. Now going to REM Surface Engineering, we can see some of their work and what they do. On their website, we can see some of the metal surface finishings, some of the statistics about the company, 55 plus years in business, some more of what they do, some of the processes of surface finishing, what they offer, engineering services, outsourced services, some of the industries that they worked in, like aerospace and automotive, some of their stories, and some of the companies that they've worked with. Going to REM's Instagram page, we can see more examples of the companies and some of the products that they've worked with and own. Here is one of the projects that they have worked on is the Mars Sample Return Mission. As of 2024, this project was still in the design stage. One of the ways 3D printing has helped REM Surface Engineering and NASA JPL Labs is using crush lattices, as you can see here. One of the design factors in the NASA's Mars sample return mission is that the spacecraft that is to land has to crash land on the planet, so it will have to use the crush lattices. Here is a few clips from Additive Manufacturing's YouTube channel showing some of the different aspects of the mission. And the 3D printed crush lattices. The winner for the Community Advocate of the Year is Dwayne Scott of 3MF Consortium. As we can see here, he has a LinkedIn page, or it's like a blog on Substack. Going to the news section, it looks like he has published a couple articles. You can check those out if you want. So it looks like he's either spoke or is part of a group at CDFAM, Computational Design Symposium in Amsterdam this year. Here is his LinkedIn page. It looks like he is based out of New York. Here we can see the Bits to Atoms blog was created by him on Substack in 2009. And we can see also some of his contributions. Up next, we have the Enterprise Company of the Year, which is Autodesk. So anyone that is familiar with 3D printing or any type of design work knows who Autodesk is. It is a pretty big company. It has the obvious Autodesk design software, along with other subsidiary software brands like Fusion 360. Here are some images of Autodesk's design software. Here's a little bit about the company. It was founded in the 1980s, so it's a pretty well established company. As you can see, this is a pretty extensive webpage. Since the company has been around for a while, they've had a lot of innovations and products to offer. Here are some recent news articles from the company. Going to their website, we can see a bit more of who Autodesk 3D is and what they offer. They have products for architecture, engineering, construction, product design, manufacturing, media and entertainment. They also have some blogs about different projects and stuff they are working on, if you are interested. Moving on to the company of the year in the personal category is Bamboo Lab. This is a similar company to the Prusa team. They make and design their own 3D printers. This is a company that has brought competition to the market, but as you can see in the web search, that it does have mixed opinions. So Bamboo Lab was created in 2020 in China. Their first product was the Bamboo Lab X1, and it was started on Kickstarter. Going to their website, we can see a bit more of what they offer, such as the A1 Mini, P1S, and a few others. They have filament that you can buy on the website, along with 3D models and a blog section on their website. Moving to the store part of the site, we can see a few of the printers. They have multi-filament options, along with the actual printer, filament, accessories, spare parts, etc. On their Instagram page, we can see some of the cool 3D models that they have to print. Next we have the desktop FFF 3D printer of the year, which is the Bamboo Lab A1 and AMS. These 3 printers are similar to the Prusa MK4 3D printers, that it is geared towards more of a home user versus an industrial user. Here is what the A1 looks like. It's a relatively small 3D printer that can be configured with 1 y-axis or 2 axes, and it has the option of using more than one material or color. Going to Bamboo's store, we can see more details about the printer. It retails roughly for $500 US. The build volume is about 256 millimeters cubed. As mentioned earlier, you can see that it does have multi-color printing options. Here are some up-close images and videos from Bamboo's website about the A1 printer. You can see some of the prints and it being printed, along with more details about what the printer has to offer. Next, we have the Bamboo Lab AMS attachment. So we can see here that the Bamboo Lab AMS is an automated material system. It allows the printer to use multi-colors or multi-material options. Going to Bamboo's website again, we can see more information about the AMS. It looks like it has the options of having 4 different filament rows at one time. It keeps the filament dry, and it has filament runout and winding sensors. You can also stack more than one of the AMSs together to get up to 8 rows at one time. Also on their website, you can see some of the different color prints and material prints that you can print with. You can also use it as a filament backup in case one of your rows runs out mid-print. This is definitely an interesting product that we look forward to getting our hands on and testing out in an upcoming video soon. The website also shows you what comes inside the box when you purchase one. Next we have the desktop non-FFF 3D printer of the year. The winner is Formlabs Form 4 3D printer. The Form 4 is a SLA type 3D printer This is different from the preset MK4. This printer uses a liquid tap resin to make the objects out of. Here we can see the Form 4. It's very similar to the Form 3 with the way it looks. It has the traditional Formlabs box shaped, and it has the orange cover over the print build area. Going to their website, we can see a bit more about the printer. It retails for about $4,500 US. You can see the printer in action on the website as well. It can print most prints in about 2 hours, which is a significant decrease from the Form 3. We can also see some examples of the prints on their website and how the prints attach to the build plate, which is a bit different from the filament type printers. It also tells a bit about the different types of resins that you can print with, along with what industries that commonly use this type of printer. Unlike other resin printers, the Formlabs Form 43 printer, the build plate can detach from the printer, allowing you to remove the prints much easier. Going to the news section online, we can see that this printer is getting positive reviews from most of the websites. Next, we have the Enterprise 3D Printer of the Year in the Metros category, and the winner is Meltio M600. So this is a industrial 3D printer. This is going to be much more expensive than, say, a preset MK4 that you'd see in your basement or garage tap space. So here's a few images of what it looks like. It's one of those industrial cabinet looking printers. It's cube shaped and on wheels. Going to the website, we can see a bit more about the 3D printer. It has a large build volume, also with blue lasers, and a 3-axis built-in probing system. Here's a bit more details about it. Again, it goes over the blue light, no calibration, high efficiency, and hot wire compatible. Here are a few examples of what it can print. You have a combustion chamber, a bracket, and a gear. And it tells you a bit about the size, weight, and print time for each of these. The printer also has its own software called Horizon. As you can see in these images, the printer uses metal filament similar to plastic filament. The winner of the Enterprise 3D Printer of the Year Polymorphs is EOS Formiga P110 FDR. So, like the winner in the metals category, this 3D printer is again more of an industrial 3D printer compared to a home user. It has the cabinet look to it. It appears that this 3D printer's biggest selling point is that it's a high detail resolution printer. Going to the company's website, we can say a bit more about the 3D printer, what kind of details it has, and some more images. So the first thing is it has a 16.5 liter capacity. This 3D printer is going to print similar to the Formlabs Form 4 3D printer with the blue laser, but it uses a resin. Here's a bit more of the technical data. It has a custom software, some images of the prints that it can print. Got fine detailed prints, some images of the software that it uses. For the innovation of the year, MIT's 3D printed glass bricks are the winner. This is a really cool innovation because, as many of the 3D printer enthusiasts know, that 3D printing something that you can see through is a bit tricky and you need some complicated settings to make it happen. But you can see the bricks on the images that we're scrolling through. So the information that we are seeing is the 3D printed glass bricks are as strong as concrete. This innovation would be a step forward in sustainable building practices. Here we can read about some of the science behind the glass bricks and how they're made. The winner for the Material Company of the Year is Metal Powder Works. So, looking online, this is a company that's based in Pennsylvania. Looking at the news articles, it looks like this is a company that rebranded from K-TIG Limited to Metal Powder Works. Reading one of the news articles, this appears to be a good sized company. It appears to be listed on the stock market, and it raised a couple million in capital with the rebranding process. So going to their website, we can see a bit more about the company. On the homepage, we can see a demonstration of how they make the metal powder. It doesn't appear to be a high volume process. In the video, they're making 1 to 3 containers at a time. So they convert bar stock to a powder through an unique no-melt patented process. These next few pictures show some of the details about the process of making the powder. Here we can see some of the powders that they actually make: aluminum alloys, copper alloys, specialty alloys, and a few others. Moving on to the medical, dental, or healthcare application, we have Striker Infinity Total Ankle System. So, like the name says, this is a replacement for an ankle, just like a knee replacement or hip replacement. Here we can see some of the pictures of the system, and at least one picture of it being inserted into the patient. Going to the news article section, we can see articles about the first surgeries using this device were successfully completed in Europe. On Striker's webpage, we can see a bit more about the device and up-close pictures of it. According to the information on their webpage, it says the device is made of titanium alloy, and they used metal 3D printing on some of the components. The device has a 98 survivorship at 2 years. This image shows how the system connects to the bone of the patient. Here we can see the 3D printed metal piece of the system up close. Up next we have the mobility or energy application. The winner for this one is General Motors Cadillac Celestial EV. Here we can see some images of the car. It's a pretty slick car with no hard edges or any obtrusive lines like you might see in like a Cybertruck or a pickup truck. So as the name says, it is an EV car, so it's going to be electric or some sort of hybrid. Here we can see some of the news articles about it. One of the big reasons that it won an award is it is made with some 3D printed components. This news article shows a little bit more about the 3D printed side of the car. The car has over 100 3D printed production components to it. More specifically, it has 115 metal and polymer 3D printed components. Here is an example of one. It is a 3D printed metal D-ring. And here is one more component that has been printed. Next we have the software tool or company of the year, which is Orca Slasher. Here we can see what the slasher looks like on an image search. From the reviews that we've seen, this slasher has started to compete with Crusoe Slasher or Kira 3D in terms of quality and innovation. Going to their website, we can see a bit more about the slasher. The website doesn't give a lot, but shows some of the main details and features of it. The startup of the year is Hatfin Innovations. This is an aerospace company. One news article says Hatfin records vibration stress reductions of up to 95% in turbine engine parts. So here is Hatfin's LinkedIn page. Tells you a little bit more about the company. Hatfin is basically a company that's using 3D printing to work with the DoD and aerospace customers to develop low-cost and damage-resistant systems. Going to their website, we can see a bit more about the company, what sort of work they do, and what industries that they work with. The website has an animated video that explains some of this stuff as well, about the parts and test methods and that type of stuff. The next category is sustainability in additive manufacturing, with the winner being 6K Additive. This is a company based in Pennsylvania, with their specialty being in metal alloys and powders. EOS and 6K Additive won a $2.1 million grant for Sustainable Additive Manufacturing Project. Going to 6K's website, we can see a bit more about the company, the different types of metal powders and alloys that they create. Also on their website, they have listed some steps that they've took to create a circular economy for these metal powders and alloys. And the last category is Value Added Reseller of the Year, which is Matter Hackers. This is a pretty obvious category. This company just resells different spare parts, filament, printers, accessories, etc. So going to their website here, we can see some of what they offer. It looks like they do have their own line of filament. So if you're interested in this company, just check out their website. They are based in the United States. So that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to give a thumbs up, and click to subscribe to see the latest videos.